Okay, Mitch, welcome along to our interview for the Talented Athlete program, for the mentoring program for that. It's great to have you involved. Perhaps you could start by giving us some background information on when you first started. What are your earliest memories of cricket?
Yep. My first game of competitive cricket was against Maddington, under 12, so I think I was about 8 years old, so I was sort of held back by Mum and Dad. Not held back in the sense that they didn't want me to play, just didn't really want to rush into Mum and Dad probably didn't want to rush into giving up their weekends, so I guess I started playing when I was 8 for Wilton, and played it all through then, and then moved to Fremantle when under 15. So yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so you came through the Emerging Warriors program. What are some of your memories of the Emerging Warriors program?
Oh, that was fantastic. I think obviously during your junior years you play for your district cricket club, and then to be able to be picked in sort of your zones colours, etc. And being in those Emerging Warriors programs was fantastic. Sort of gave you at that age a goal to reach. Obviously, your goal was to, when you're growing up, is to play state cricket and obviously play for Australia. But I think for a short-term goal to be able to play zones cricket and be in an Emerging Warriors program, it's fantastic. So I had really fond memories.
Excellent. I think from memory you probably started in under 15s. I don't think you played under 14s. Is that right?
Yeah, under 15s is my first year. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and I think the first time you represented the state was in the school sport competition. I think you went to Tasmania, and I think from memory you were still in under 13. Is that right? And you played under 15s.
I was, yeah. Obviously, that was an amazing experience. Obviously, my first taste of playing for Western Australia, and I obviously had great memories of that tour. I think we even came third or fourth, which was one of the highest we'd ever finished for Western Australia, so it was fantastic, and to be able to be a part of that was really good.
And it got better, didn't it? Because the following year you played in the team that won the championship here in Perth, so that must have been a big thrill.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think even though we were under 15s, we actually had quite a mature group, and we had a really good talented side, and it was our goal from the beginning of the program in the winter that we wanted to win the championship, and we had the side to do it. So it was fantastic. It was the first time Western Australia ever won that competition, so obviously a big achievement, and I'm sure all the boys still remember it.
Excellent. Okay, and from there you were fast-tracked into the under 19s. I think from memory we went away to Adelaide with Kate Harvey,
Yep.
and representing the state at those levels. How did you find the step up? For I think you played 17 as well, but 17s and certainly 19s. Was it much of a step up in quality?
It was, yeah. I guess it was not a shock to the system, but obviously playing on the 19s, you're playing against men. Something you've got to be ready for. I think obviously Australian cricket is so strong that our junior programs are fantastic. So it was a big step up, and it's something that obviously I was lucky enough to be picked as a 15-year-old. So I was lucky enough to gain some experience at that level, and which helped me when I was 17, 18 playing on 19s.
Good. And it was around about that time when you first played A grade for Fremantle?
It was, yeah. I debuted against Subiaco Florida, which was good. So obviously that was something that I worked towards. I wanted to play A grade cricket as soon as I could. So I guess, yeah, it was fantastic.
So while all this cricket was going on, you were also involved in football. How did you find all that, combining the two, and what eventually led to your decision to go with cricket?
Yeah, I guess like any kid, I was just playing cricket, playing footy. Cricket was my summer sport and footy was my winter sport. I guess it all started to get pretty serious around the 16, 17 age. Obviously, as a footballer, you get drafted at 17, 18 nowadays. So sort of when I got to that age, I had to make my decision on what I wanted to go. And I guess at the time, the opportunities that I had in cricket, the IPL and going over to Brisbane at the Centre of Excellence, which is some of the best facilities in the world. I guess it sort of just swayed me to be able to do that. It was a fantastic opportunity for me that winter to get up to Brisbane and spend time out in the middle in the sun. We get five months of sun in the winter, which is fantastic. So I guess it was a tough decision. I love my footy, but hopefully I've made the right one.
So I'm sure you have. And it was around about that time, just after that, or I think the following season, when you were all set to go away with the 19s to Canberra, and you were taken out of that team because of your performance against New South Wales here, playing for WA. It was the first time you represented WA at the senior level. What were your memories of that?
Obviously, to be able to make my debut in the Shield was fantastic. Unfortunately, we lost, which was a shame, but it was just a massively, I guess, eye-opening experience for me. I had Doug Bollinger trying to rip my head off. He was playing for his test spot in the next test. So I mean, to be able to gain that sort of experience was fantastic. And there's a very fond memory putting on Kim Hughes was interviewing my cat, which is fantastic. So that's obviously something I'll always remember.
And just prior to that game, you played in the one day against New South Wales. I think from memory you scored 50 off 25 balls or something like that.
Yeah,
so that must have been a big thrill.
It was, yeah. I think that was the first time I batted with Sean for WA in the middle. So I mean, that was just an amazing experience. Got a little bit lucky there. I hit a few stray edges to the fall, but obviously that was probably an innings that helped my confidence grow and lock up along there. So that was a very fond memory of being able to bat with Sean. He made 100 that day, and I was out in the middle with him. So it was fantastic.
And how old were you at that stage?
17.
Yeah, I remember seeing that innings. I don't think there was too much luck. You played superbly. Okay, from there, the next big highlight would have been playing under-19s for Australia and captaining the side that won the World Cup in New Zealand. That must have been fabulous.
Oh man, it was. I guess it's not too often that we get to represent our country and to be able to captain such a great bunch of blokes. Obviously, we had a very talented side. If we didn't win it, we probably would have been pretty disappointed. But that was a fantastic experience and something that I always cherish. I think the way we won, we lost to South Africa in our group pools with 2 balls to spare or 1 ball to spare. And that game was sort of the turning point for us, I guess, in the World Cup, where we thought, we're not invincible. I guess we had a lot of self-confidence about us because we did have a good side. But as I said before, it was just a great honour to captain the country, but to be able to lead such a good bunch of fellas was fantastic. So it's something that I guess I know every one of those blokes will cherish forever.
And your innings in the semi-final was a highlight. You virtually got the team over the line by yourself, I think.
Yeah, we were in a bit of trouble there. I think we were probably 3 or 4 for 30 at one stage, chasing 200. So we were in a bit of strife, but I was lucky enough, myself and Tom Triffett had a good partnership, which eventually got us over the line. I didn't quite take us all the way, but I guess that game gave us great momentum going to the final against Pakistan.
Absolutely. Okay, now a moment ago you mentioned your decision when you made your decision to go with cricket, IPL, 2020 cricket, that sort of thing. So how did you find your experience in the IPL?
Oh yeah, definitely the last couple of years have been fantastic for me. I guess to be so young and being able to get international experience and being able to play with the likes of Gilly and this year I was lucky enough to play with Graham Smith. There's some pretty good leaders there. To be able to learn off them, obviously it's fantastic to get over there for me and play at that level. So it's been a great experience for me, and I think it's given myself a lot of confidence.
And following on from that, the Big Bash League, we're going to be representing the Scorchers this coming season. That must be pretty exciting as well. Yeah,
it's going to be massive, mate. I think the Big Bash League is going to take off this year, which will be fantastic, and I'm sure we'll get great crowds. It's going to be a great opportunity for Australian cricket to have such a big thing in Australia, so hopefully it takes off.
And watching Sean recently make his test debut and get 100 first up, that must have been fantastic for him, but certainly for the whole family. It must have been very, very proud of him.
It was, yeah. Dad was over there. I think it was a pretty emotional weekend for the family.
Saw him in the stand, he looked pretty excited.
He was very excited, so obviously, it's fantastic. Sean's worked really hard over the last, it's probably taken a little bit longer than it should have. He's so talented, but he's there now, and hopefully he can stay there for a long time.
And I guess the next step is you to join him.
That's the plan.
Fantastic. All right, Mitch, so in closing, you know about the Talented Athlete Program, something that's a new initiative that we're tracking the better kids from under 14s and through to under 17s, and also in the girls' side of things, under 15 girls through to the Fury eventually. So what sort of advice would you give the young players coming through in this program?
I think the biggest piece of advice that obviously my dad always gave me was just to enjoy my cricket. I think at a young age you've still got to have a good balance in your life. not put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure they, obviously study hard at school and work hard. But I think it's important. All good sportsmen have good balance in their life. And obviously, your work ethic is the most important part. I guess. Obviously, like being a youngster, when you're talented, it sometimes can be easy to be lazy and just let your talent get you there. And I suppose talent can only get you so far in professional sports. So I guess the one bit of advice I can give is have a really good balance in your life, but also work hard. There's only one answer to making it to the top. And obviously you see the good players. That's the only thing that gets in there is hard work. And I think Justin Langer's a prime example. He wasn't the most talented cricketer, but he's probably worked harder than anyone, and his record shows. So that's probably my only bit of advice to him.
Great. Thanks very much, Mitch.
Cheers, man. Thanks, mate.
Excellent.
All good.